Alright guys, today we're going to take a look at getting proper control from the back. So there's a lot of different ways to get to the back. Obviously when we're grappling, back access is one of the things we want, but also in the stand-up with wrestling, you're going to be able to score quite easily. So however way you're going to set it up, right? You can do it by going into snap downs, circling to the back from here, or we can do it from standing positions with stuff like back elbows. There's a lot of different ways to get to the back. Okay, so let's first talk a little bit about mat returns, because one of the things that will happen once you start attacking the back, from whichever position we're going to do this, you will end up in positions like this, where we have our opponent maybe with one hand on the floor, maybe he gets both hands off the floor and he gets back up. So we need to be able to take him back down. Now, there's a lot of different ways to do this, to approach this, but generally I teach two ways. One is backstepping, throwing your opponent backwards, and the other one is throwing our opponent up or forwards. Yeah? So a lot of times forwards will be your easiest option. So we're just going to make sure we're going to force our opponent from stepping forward, and from there we can do either of two things. We can either start lifting our opponent and returning him to the mat, or we can start tripping our opponent. Yeah? If I'm going to lift my opponent, he's obviously going to be fighting my hands. So his hands are on the floor, he's trying to fight hands, I'm going to force him forward, put my hips in, return to the mat, right there. Yeah? So this is one way to return. If we're not into lifting that much, maybe your opponent is a little bit heavier than you, maybe there's different problems why we cannot lift him. In that case, we're just going to push him forward, and I'm just going to trip him up right there. As he steps, we're just going to hit the foot. And what we like to do a lot of times is blocking the hip a little bit. So I'm going to squeeze my hand in, which forces him to move in a certain fashion, which makes it quite easy for me to trip him up. Okay? So that's the forward part. We will start discussing getting control from there as well, because we don't want him to get back immediately up to his feet. Okay, backwards. It's going to be very easy. A lot of times when he starts pressing your hands, he's going to start leaning backwards. If they start leaning backwards, it's going to be very simple. We're going to make space, split the leg, and get down. If he's smart, he's probably going to get back to hands and knees, or he's going to give me the position and we can go from there. From whatever position we end up. A lot of times we'll end up here. What I want to do here, a lot of grapplers make the mistake of going up too quickly. If I go up too quickly, he will start building base, put his ass up. No, head down, ass up, yes. And he will be starting to escape from there. If I jump the back, I might lose the position there. So instead of making the mistake there, what I'm going to do, I'm going to first break him down to a hip. How do I do that? Different ways. First way we're going to take a look at today is getting wrist control. Yeah, we can do this from either position we were in just a second ago. What I'm going to do with my double underhooks, both my arms stay under his arms. I'm going to grab the wrist, two on one side. Now, if my opponent wants to get up now, I'm just going to force him towards the side where he doesn't have any base anymore. And from here it gets really, really easy to get people down to one hip. Now, you're wondering, why didn't you jump back immediately? Because I don't want to get shaken off. So if I break him down to one hip first, right here, and now start attacking the back, it will be a lot more difficult for him to get up. If he now wants to stand up, this is almost impossible from this position, and we can start quite easily with some good back base there. Yeah? So this wrist control, well, it's emphasized a lot in wrestling. You don't see it that much in nogi grappling, but if you play with that, you will have a lot of success, and it will make your back takes a lot easier. Same goes when we get our opponent to one side. So what happens a lot, especially with the back sitting takedowns, is right here. And now he has a choice to make. Either he stays down a little bit back. Either he stays down like this, and we score, and we get our top position. Or he starts turning to his stomach, tries to get up. Now this is our perfect position immediately to get his wrist, force him down again, and we start taking the back. And from here, again, great position to get into back takes. Yeah? So, use the wrist control to break your opponent down, take the back, let's go.